I'm Kent Maciejczak. I'm an indie filmmaker, writer, director, and producer. I'm a USC alumni. Please like and subscribe, and welcome to Cinema Kent. My script flew away. Everyone tells you filmmaking is glamorous. Red carpets, festivals, people calling you auteur, but they don't tell you this. It's just you, alone at 2 a.m., editing the same 8-second shot for the 47th time, wondering if anybody will ever watch it, if they'll ever care. And the truth is, probably not. You just spent 6 months filming your dream film, and it's the loneliest, most exhausting thing you've ever done. And is it worth it? Yeah. When you start out, you'll think you'll be Spielberg by 30.
You say, which car do you want to go into? Which car are you going to be?
So I have to say my line first?
Yeah. Finish your line right here. Sure. As he said, slam on his face. He slid. Good.
And he...
And in reality, it's you carrying 80 pounds of gear up at 3 flights of steps for a 10-second shot. It's difficult. It's unpaid gigs. It's just a lot of work. I don't think every filmmaker learns this. This is something I learned in film school. One of my mentors taught me this. It's only a movie. You are making a movie. It's not that important. Everyone thinks it's like death or life. It's not that serious. You're just making entertainment for other people. It's an art form. Of course, that doesn't mean you shouldn't take it seriously, but just remember, it's only a movie. Graduating from USC Film School didn't mean my career magically started. It meant starting over, the lonely grind of chasing your passion. It's isolating. Your family tells you you're going to quit. You should quit. Your friends move on. They go to different jobs in different fields. The people you thought that you had to support you, they change and they evolve. The person you thought was just a PA turns out to be a big director, or just a friend who can help you make stuff. The guy who thought was going to be a big director just leaves the country or gets a new job. And the only ones who understand you are the people you meet along the way. So that is the community you build. It is the people who are already doing it, the people who are in the positions that you want. They understand and they help you a lot of the times. Some of my greatest allies are people who are already working in the industry, who are union, who are helping me just because they know how hard it can be to start. I graduated from USC in December 2023, and it's been a struggle since then. My jobs have been very limited. I'll go over that in a different video, but it's a journey. Filmmaking looks fun on Instagram. In reality, it's exhaustion, it's survival, it's chaos, it's a lot of fun. It's probably the most fun you can ever do. And I say loneliest, I don't mean like there aren't going to be people there to help you. You're not going to build your own community, but like at the same time, it's just you trying to make a story happen. It's you getting behind a camera and filming someone, getting people together. It's hard. You'll deal with broken equipment, people not showing up, people not caring as much as you do. I've had friends who they thought they spent a lot of money making their passion project, and they've talked it out with the DP, and the DP doesn't even really care. He just wants to get through the day. He's kind of tired, and people don't care as much as you do. You are your own biggest ally. The loneliness of the craft. Yes, you collaborate. Yes, you make friends, and that helps so much. But filmmaking is solitary. It's a very lonely thing. You're writing alone, shooting alone, editing alone, doubting every choice you've ever made, from choosing a school to making a story. Sometimes halfway through the story, just writing it, not even getting to the editing or the filming of it. You're like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Who cares? These characters don't matter. But they do, ultimately. They do ultimately matter, and someone will relate to it, and someone will care, someone will find it funny. Even if it's not meant to be a joke, most of some of the greatest horror films were made seriously, and they turn out to be the best cult classic comedies you've ever seen. You have to make the projects come to life. Even in filming commercials and like doing careers outside of just starting and doing shorts or verticals or YouTube or Instagram, it's a lot. I worked a couple commercials where it's just me and my friend, and we go to this location, we rent it out, we produce the whole thing, and we bring the props, we bring the script, we write it, we storyboard it, and then it's just me and them filming the actors or the models in a certain location, and then it's up to us to edit it. It's just us to make the whole thing come to life, and they'll pay us good money, actually, believe it or not. Sometimes. The hard part is getting the gigs, not doing the gigs. But the loneliness of the craft is a real problem, and it's nice to have a friend. You have to be your own crew members sometimes, and sometimes that's terrifying. Sometimes you have to light things and you don't know how to light things, or you don't know how to do sound exactly, or ask someone how to cooperate with you, and you have to become that role. So like helping an actor wire a lavalier onto them, and you're not too sure even how it works. Recently I've gotten a gig as a productions operations manager, and that means they send me random products I've never dealt with before. I have to learn how an electric bike works and put it together, or you have to build something you've never built before. Like this one time me and my friend were out in the desert and we were filming just me and him as the actor and director, and he's doing this dance video, and we built the door. We had to figure out how to put the door up between just having us there, and he has to film, I have to film him, and he has to act, he has to dance, he has to open the door. How do we get the door to stand up? He built the door, but it was a journey. Becoming a filmmaker makes you learn a lot of different things that you've never done before, things that you probably wouldn't normally do. You build a lot of IKEA furniture for some reason. It's what it feels like. You're just learning one thing and just winging it because you don't have enough time. So you become your own crew sometimes, and sometimes that is terrifying. And it's rewarding in the end because you learned a new skill, and that's probably the most beneficial thing anyone can do. Even when you're surrounded by people on set, the final responsibility rests on you. The vision and the execution, the storytelling, it carries to you. You are responsible as the director. You have to tell the actors where to stand, sometimes even what to think. I mean, it's a responsibility to come in with their roles and their characters and their lines, but it's up to you to have the vision. Sometimes you have a loose vision, but it still has to be something tangible. You have to come in and knowing what you want, or at least searching for what you want. A lot of times I've done rehearsals and I found things in rehearsals I never thought I would have. The whole project carries on you as the director or producer. You have to come up with things in the moment, and a lot of things happen. Chaos you can't plan for. One of the biggest problems on a film shoot is things happen, and a lot of things happen all the time. So like, let me tell you about a downtown Los Angeles shoot I had. 2 location disasters in one day. Actually, I think there was 3, but we'll stick to the 2. First, the building manager locked us out of the holding area for hair and makeup, and I was driving the background to the holding area, and I got a call from one of the producers, Jack. I was also producing it. We were waiting on the street in the middle of Los Angeles, and I was just like holding traffic up and trying to keep the background calm down, keep them cool. They were starting to catch on to something was happening, and that's one of the biggest things is you learn soft skills. You learn that you are the person who has to keep a calm face and a cool collective. So I couldn't let them know that, hey, we might have to drive another 20 minutes to go to a new location. And so it turned out that we didn't have to do that. We were going to go to Jack's house, which was near USC instead of downtown. And this wasn't a student project. This was not for USC. We just happened to live in that area. And the wardrobe and makeup lady's home was like partially where we were filming at, but we were filming on the roof location, and the building manager was not okay with that because it was a common area and it seemed dangerous to hold like 20 background up there. So I went up and talked to him, and that's another situation where you have to use soft skills. You have to continuously be able to talk and collaborate and communicate effectively. So I got a hold of the building manager and was like, hey, what can we do about this? We're doing a thing. And they were okay with us holding them in the wardrobe lady's apartment, which was very tiny to fit that many people, and us staging them outside. And after negotiating, the crisis was averted, and we relocated to inside the same building, ironically, but it all worked out. Later on the same day, we were having a permitting issue, and the funny part about that is at the same location, they were also filming some type of car commercial, so they were like speeding cars below where we were shooting, and Film LA gave us both the permit for the street, which was a little confusing because we were like competing productions, and there's 2 productions happening at the same time in the same location. Thank you, Film LA. And it's not that we didn't have a permit, but the part that we were filming on was not the proper location for where the permit was. Ironically, the street was, but they was shooting a car commercial down there. So we were filming on this bridge for a sci-fi movie, and the building manager comes out again, and he's like, hey, you guys can't film here. And then we showed him the permits, and we kind of lied to him a little bit, and we're like, hey, we have all the proper stuff. It says we can be here. And they calmed down a little bit. We explained things to them. We sent our friend up, and he told a story that I cannot tell on camera. Ukrainian, and if he gets caught, he'll have to be sent back, so he doesn't want to do anything illegal. So they let us film there for the rest of the day, and it all turned out okay. Your permits might be perfect, which it was. That permit was for the location. It was for where we were shooting. It was all fine. But the reality is nothing is ever perfect. And shooting in LA is such a hassle to get the right permits, the right locations, the right bureaucracy behind everything. It's such a struggle right now, and a lot of indie films are struggling because of it. We had other days on the same set where we were filming in sex dungeons. We were filming in the Mojave on the hottest week of the year. It was like 117, I think. It wasn't the Mojave, it was Death Valley in particular. We were in the middle of Death Valley shooting, and it was intense. It was not a thing I would recommend, but we had a 60-year-old actor. We kept everyone alive. No one got hurt. Everyone might have got a little sunburnt, but that was part of the project. We all had fun. So guys, I'm filming outside. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I do have film equipment, but I live with 3 people and 3 cats, and currently I cannot film there today. So this is what we're doing. The most important skills to have in filmmaking probably are time management, soft skills like communicating, showing up on time, and most importantly, just staying calm under pressure. I had a lot of professors tell me that was my thing. The building could be on fire and be like, all right, we're getting the shot. In fact, I remember there was a time that I was shooting a live, not for school, I was shooting a live event, and they were doing graffiti art, and the whole studio like burst into flames because the canister exploded, and like he lit the thing on fire. It was actually kind of crazy that no one got hurt. And one of the producers comes in running with a fire extinguisher, and right before he gets into the shot, the guy like puts it out almost, or close enough that we were like, all right, we're good. And it turned out pretty great. It turned out cool looking, at least. So time management, soft skills, and keeping calm under pressure. Obviously, if there's a train coming or someone's going to die, run, save lives, don't do anything stupid. Remember, it's only a movie. Physical and emotional grind. So I graduated in 2023 from USC, and my journey has been intense. My journey as a filmmaker has been intense. Even getting into USC, getting into classes, you had to apply to everything and then get denied or waitlisted. It was an emotional roller coaster. Making some films, you think they're going to turn out well. Getting people together and getting people to work together is so difficult. That's where the soft people skills come in. So physical and emotional grind. Film sets aren't 9 to 5. They're 5 a.m. until you collapse. They're 5 a.m. till 2 a.m. in the morning. My aunt's a teamster. She works for the big studios. I've done studio shoots, but she often works as a Team 1 union teamster, and she's there before anybody shows up. Like, teamsters are number 1, and she shows up at like 3 a.m. and she won't come home till like 1 a.m. And then she'll have at most a 6-hour turnaround. She has to go back and do it again. She does 16, 18-hour days, and the golden hour is nice, getting paid, but it's quite intense. Making lunch is always a battle. Getting lunch on time, feeding people is a hassle. Meditating conflicts. I once had an actor who, when we broke for lunch, wanted to meditate for an hour, and it was a 4-hour shoot. So all we had to do the whole scene. It was one scene, and we sat down, we meditated, and it was a great experience. He came out of it a better actor. If you think filmmaking is glamorous, you'll quit. It's not. I mean, it can be at times. There's different parts of it, like producing films and film development and like marketing and distributing films, but the most of it's not glamour. It's a grind, and if you think it's glamour, you probably won't survive. You have to know that it's a grind. Even mundane logistics can break you. I have had cars get stuck on shoots. I've had the production designer smash into the gate of a hotel, and that's an expense you don't want to have to pay. I've had my car break down with the director inside. I've done so many shoots where things just you wouldn't think of go wrong. You get parking tickets, which then kill your whole budget. It's insane. Someone will hit your gear, your gear will break, or you forgot the batteries. That's a learning lesson that I've only done once. Except for mic batteries. My mic eats my batteries, and so does my sound recorder, and I just never have enough batteries then, so that's a different problem. I just don't have them because it's not enough. About a month ago, and my car broke down. I was driving the director. It was quite the experience. I was so upset. We pulled over to the side of the road after I was going up a hill on the 405, and my car just scrapes the bottom going like 50, and then there's this loud like thick and like clunk sound all at the same time, and then the hybrid indicator system comes on, and I get out of the car, and I'm like, oh, nothing's hanging, nothing's wrong, I can still drive in limp mode. So it's going about 40 miles an hour max. It's impossible to even get started, so I'm trying to merge back onto the highway going 10 miles an hour. And then in the morning I was helping the director, so I was like DPing it and producing it. I also worked with the models and such, but it was a fashion shoot. I just let the director do his thing and went off with the models for the first hour, and I cried under the Santa Monica Pier. It was quite the experience. I was just like tearing up. I was like, oh my god, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get through the rest of the day? What's my next step? I wasn't even thinking about the shoot, even though I was in the middle of the shoot. That was a problem. So we shot the rest at the pier, and then I actually drove to the next location in Santa Monica, and it just wasn't a problem. Just kind of moved on, and my car's still broken down, but it was a great day. The shoot turned out phenomenal, looks great. I even edited it. One of the biggest hassles in filmmaking is financial struggles. Your friend buys houses, you buy another hard drive. It's kind of funny because hard drives are expensive, and you can't make things without media, and you need the media, you need the storage space. 4K is expensive. You can't always be deleting stuff unless it's like a project you worked on like 4 years ago, and even then, don't do it. I maxed out credit cards buying my first camera. I bought a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and that was kind of a fun experience because my credit card was I had like $1,000 before it was going to be maxed out anyway, and I couldn't make the payments, so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to buy all this gear, and it turned out to be the greatest experience of my life. I made so many of my favorite movies on that camera, and it taught me how to become a filmmaker because got an adapter and a speed booster eventually, and I learned to make movies with CCTV camera lenses and just like turning old photography lenses into these phenomenal cinematic shots, and it worked so well. They were beautiful, and just a lot of things I learned. Like, it was a 16mm camera, but with the speed booster I turned it into a 35, so that was all cheap. So the FD lenses were like $5 to $15, $50 lenses. The CCTV camera lenses were just as cheap. So I bought the camera, and I bought a shit ton of lenses, learning as I go. I went on K.com. You do finances. You learn to do with what you got. So I bought my first camera, maxing out my credit card. That's just a thing. USC left me $300,000 in debt. That's not a joke. I am now $300,000 in debt from wanting to follow my passion, for following my career, my dreams of being educated. I got a master's degree in art, so I kind of knew that was going to happen, but now I don't have a job. I have to make my own jobs, and it's just very costly living in Los Angeles. I'm very lucky because I have family members, but it's still such a hassle. And I don't have rich family members either. Like most USC students, I'm a poor man. Every project costs more than you think it does. You buy props, food, feeding people is expensive. Even if it's only like 4 actors for the day, you have to feed them all. That's $100 right there. And then you're trying to get them in wardrobe. You ask them to bring their own wardrobe. It's just, it's a process. And it's worth it in the end. I highly recommend filmmaking. You gotta feed crew, rent gear, software subscriptions, props, time management. Making films is a financial risk disguised as a passion project. I still do it because the moment the shot works or the audience laughs or cries or feels something, that's addictive. My favorite thing is watching my own movies. I'm my own biggest fan. I can't get enough of it. I love it. Even the horrible AI films I made, I know it's slop, but it's all practice to make better things in the future. Like, I don't know a filmmaker who doesn't use AI now, and I've been using it for 5 years to work with making films. I made films with just oranges, but they're some of my favorite films, just because they're fun, they're learning experiences, and you can do things that you've never done before. Because I make movies that make people feel less alone. I've done stories that are hard to do, I've made a documentary about female abuse in comedy, in the female comedy world, and sexual harassment. I've made stories about cobblers. I've made stories about addiction. That's a big thing. I use my trauma from my past and my friends who were addicted and growing up, dealing with the opioid epidemic, and it's a struggle. It really is. It's never about accolades. I don't go for views or followers. I'd probably have better production here if I did. It's about creation, connection, and storytelling. I want to make movies that make people think, that make people feel different. That's when filmmaking became a calling, not just a hobby. So I started gearing my stories towards that, towards the events that have happened to me, towards my childhood, towards things that'll make people feel less alone. It's only a movie. Remember that it's only a movie. That's one of the biggest takeaways I can give you, is it's only entertainment for someone to enjoy. Don't be a jerk to someone. They're here to help you make your dreams come true. It's only a movie. I'm Cinema Kent, and I am telling you stories that make people feel less alone. I will really dive into my personal life, my adventures, my journey as a filmmaker in other videos. This is only my first one. That's why I'm on a bench. But I want to tell you the truth that they don't put into film school brochures. I want to tell you my experience with film school. I want to tell you my experience as a filmmaker and making movies. I made over 50 shorts. I've directed so much. I produced, written more. I made a sitcom pilot. Everyone says filmmaking is glamorous. Sure, if your dream involves being hangry and arguing with a key grip at 2 a.m., hope you like pizza. Ask for forgiveness. Don't ask for permission. I've heard that through my community college, through undergrad, through my grad school. One of my mentors at USC told me the most important advice was, remember it's only a movie, but also don't get caught. That was their advice, is just don't get caught. If you're gonna cheat, if you're gonna steal, if you're gonna lie about something, if you don't have a permit, just don't get caught. I maxed out my credit card for my first camera, but hey, at least I made some good films. Please like and subscribe, and welcome to Cinema Kent.